Greetings, beautiful beings. Welcome to Pilates for Periods, where I am your instructor, Brittany, but I go by B. And today we are focusing on fatigue and tiredness. This flow is completely passive and uses supported poses to allow the body to sink into deep rest. The goal is to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system to encourage healing and energy restoration. Allow the ground to hold you. Focus on gentle belly-based breathing. So in this mindfulness practice, this can be done during your cycle, before your cycle, or after your cycle. Now, we are going to use self-prompts today. So you're going to need a pillow, a blanket, blocks, or a chair. You don't need all of them, but all of those are going to be used for today. So go ahead and come meet us on the mat. All right, guys. So for each one of these poses for restoration, we're going to hold them for 3 minutes. So we're going to first start off with our Stonehenge pose. So this is multiple ways we can do this. So if you're using your blocks, I'm going to go ahead and get our pillow out as well. So this is option 1 to come into your Stonehenge position. You can go ahead and place your hands down to the side or have them up in front of you, flexed or your feet pointed, and just sit in this position. But if you don't have blocks, then you are able to use a chair. So let's go ahead and show you that option. So you're going to take your chair, and you want to make sure your chair has a gap through it so that you're able to slide your legs through. Go ahead and take this blanket off to the side. Now, if you would like, you can keep a blanket down if the chair is going to be too hard for you. So you're going to come down on your back, and then you're just going to slide your legs that way. Now, if you would like to be closer so your legs are not at an angle, you can scoot in so you're more at like a tabletop position and just slide your pillow down. And you can go that way. Whatever works best for you in this moment. Again, feel free to put a blanket or a pillow down if you would like more support or cushion. So now we can go into our full Stonehenge position. Let's begin. Now in this moment, feel free to close your eyes or keep a slight gaze. You can even open your mouth and remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth just to release all the muscles in your body. And just breathe at this time. Now, if your back is too flat, feel free to use a blanket or a block or even an additional pillow if you would like to. However, just breathe naturally in this position. Belly base breathing through our diaphragms. All right, beautiful beings. Now we're going to transition out of this pose into our next, which is a side lying supported corpse position. So let's go ahead and comfortably, if you're still using the chair, comfortably remove your legs from the chair. And if you're on the blocks, do the same. I'm going to turn over onto my side into a fetal position and sit myself up. We're going to go ahead and move this chair out the way because we're not going to need it again in this practice. And let's come into our side lying corpse. So we're going to go ahead and place our pillow at the top of the mat. And we're going to take a longer pillow that we're going to be able to use horizontally and put between our legs. Now, when you lay on your side on the corpse position, you have the choice to be directly on the mat. However, if you would like support, you can also move your blanket or an extra pillow so that you're supported on your side. All right, guys. So come down into our corpse position. Gonna go ahead and just stick our hands out on our inhale and slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra onto your mat, your bolsters, your pillows, whatever's supporting you, or your blankets. Now, for the corpse position, we're going to actually come up our legs into a tabletop on our inhale, and then we're going to exhale and bring your legs to the side as if you're doing a supine twist. But we're actually going to let our legs come all the way down to the side, and you're then going to place your pillow long ways against your leg. And you're going to support your pillow and sandwich it. All right, guys? And in this position, feel free, you can keep your body straight forward. In a comfortable position, you could place your hands out into the T as if you're in a supine, and go ahead and look to the right if that feels comfortable for you. However, we're going to hold this position for 3 minutes. All right, beautiful beings. We're going to take an inhale and bring your head back to center. And then you're going to exhale and remove the pillow and lift your legs back up to tabletop because we're going to do it on the other side. So you're going to take an inhale to prepare, and then you're going to exhale and turn your knees to the right hand side. But we're going to go ahead and switch that pillow, keeping it long ways against the leg that is actually on the mat, and then setting your top leg on top of it to sandwich the pillow. Going to go ahead and place your hand back into the T. But this time we're going to look over to the left. Now feel free to keep your eyes closed or in a slight gaze and just breathe naturally here for the next 3 minutes. All right, beautiful beings. We're going to take an inhale and bring our head back to center. And then exhale, we're going to release the pillow and release our legs. Now we're going to move forward into our next restorative pose, which is legs up the wall. So you could do this with or without support. So if you would like to stay on your mat and do it without support, we're going to go ahead and remove the blanket and bring it off to the side. Going to go ahead and remove the pillow as well and bring it to the side. And you're just going to have your back flat onto your mat. And you're just going to bring your legs straight up into the air. Now feel free to keep your legs pointed or flex if you would like. And this is the traditional legs up the wall. However, you do have the choice, we'll rock up to sitting for just a second, to go ahead and use a block. So inhale, and I'm going to come back down vertebra by vertebra and show you that you can actually take your block, your pillow, or your blanket, and you can support it under your lower back, right above your bottom. And then you can go ahead and pick your legs straight up that way. However, if you would actually like to use a wall, we can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and remove this block. I'm going to rock up to sitting. And then we're going to come to the closest wall that you have. In this case, I'm going to turn around for you guys. and come onto this wall. Now I'm going to bring a block so I can show you the supported version as well. However, you can come and you're going to place your bottom against the wall. And then you can have your legs up the wall. Scoot in as close as you can to make sure your bottom is touching the wall. And you can do legs up the wall. You can also bring them off the wall if you would like to have them completely straight. And then you have the option to do supported, putting that on your lower back, keeping that on the wall. Whatever works best for you in this moment, we're going to go ahead and do that for the next 3 minutes. I'm actually going to transition back onto my mat to do my 3 minutes on a flatter surface. All right, beautiful beings. Let's go ahead and transition into our next position. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to bend our knees down and place our feet on the mat and exhale it all out. Now we're going to actually transition into our supported child's pose position. So you're going to go ahead and on your inhale, place your hands behind your thighs. You're going to rock up to standing on your exhale. And now we're going to transition into that supported child's pose. So we're going to go ahead and take our pillow, place the pillow at the front because that's where you're going to actually place your head at. Now, this is where it's going to get fun. So you have the choice to add support for your actual belly and your chest to be on the ground, so you can set that up, but you don't have to put this option. Now, the most important portion of this supported child's pose is having the cushion between your leg and your thighs. So we're going to come onto our knees. We're going to make our knees wide to the mat. Now, if you don't have a pillow or a blanket here, then you just want to make sure that your knees are actually coming wide to the mat. And we're going to go ahead and adjust our pillow, and we're going to come down into our child's pose position. Now, to take this a step further, when it comes to your support, you can actually not have your knees wide to the mat, and you can actually bring your knees closer in onto your blanket if you have one here, and then you're going to place a pillow between your legs and your thighs. You're going to sit back on that, and then you're going to come down into your child's pose. Whatever works best for you in this moment, we're going to do this for 3 minutes, breathing naturally in this position. All right, beautiful beings. Now we're going to transition into our next position. So let's take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale, we're going to roll back up to seating. Now we're going to move forward into our supported frog pose. So let's go ahead and remove the pillow from the back of our legs. And with the supported frog, we can do this one of two ways. We can go ahead and make our legs wide to the mat and go ahead and turn your left foot out, and then your right foot out. And then we can go ahead and just come down into our frog pose. Now, if this is too much for the body, you can go ahead and come back up and then place a pillow in front of you to have yourself more supported. So feel free to do so. Go ahead and turn your legs out, and you're going to come closer onto the pillow. Scoot your opposite pillow a little further up, and you could be supported this way. However, if opening your hips is too much in this position, you could do a modified supported frog. So what we would do is go ahead and come up, and we're going to take this top pillow that we put supported, and you're going to put it towards the back of your mat. When you come back down into your position, we're going to go ahead and come into a modified push-up, and go ahead and lower your body down. Now, when you lower your body down, you're going to spread your knees wide. You're going to bring your toes together, and then you're going to lower your toes onto that support and come this way. Whichever works best for you at this time, we're going to hold this position for 3 minutes. All right, beautiful beings. We're going to take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale. We're going to place our hands close by our chest and push up into a modified push-up. We're going to go ahead and turn our feet in and close our knees in and come out of this position as we transition into our supported alligator. Now, you can really keep your setup the same. It just depends on if you want pillows or blocks. So feel free to keep the same setup. And all you're going to do is just stretch your legs all the way out and then place your palm one over the other and place your head down. However, if this is too much support for you, feel free to move as much as you see fit, and you can move everything out the way if you would like. You can even do like the modified supported frog and go ahead and place a pillow at the end of your mat, and then that way when you come down, your feet are supported and your head is supported. So that's an option for you as well. Now, if you don't want to use a pillow, feel free to use a block if that works better for you at this time. Whatever works best for you, we're going to go ahead and hold that position for the next 3 minutes. All right, beautiful beings. We're going to go ahead and take an inhale to prepare. And then exhale, we're going to place our hands on the side of our chest and lift ourselves up. And set back into a child's pose, even if it's supported on the pillow behind you for a final reset. You're going to take an inhale to prepare, and then we're going to roll up to sitting. All right, guys, let's come into a comfortable seated position in the middle of our mats so we can close class like we always do. But first, let's go ahead and engage in some more additional belly-based breathing. Go ahead and place one hand over your heart and one hand over your stomach. And go ahead and close your eyes or keep a slight gaze at this time. We're going to go ahead and take 3 deep yet gentle breaths by inhaling through our nostrils and exhaling out of our mouths. 2 more times. We're going to go ahead and inhale through our nostrils and exhale out of our mouths. Last time that we do this in this practice, we're going to take an inhale through our nostrils and exhale out of our mouths. Now, before we move forward, we are going to engage in an I am power statement, with I representing inspiration, A representing affirmations, and M representing manifestations. I am stimulating and cultivating energy for my body as I continue to release any tiredness or fatigue that I was experiencing at the beginning of this practice. All right, beautiful beings, go ahead and gently open your eyes if you have them closed or in a slight gaze. And now we're going to take a final inhale and lift our arms up to upward salute, bringing our palms together in the sky. And we're going to drop our palms down to our foreheads as we manifest intentional thoughts, genuine thoughts, and peaceful thoughts. We're going to drop our palms down to our lips as we manifest intentional words, genuine words, and peaceful words. And then we're going to bring our palms down to our hearts as we manifest intentional love, genuine love, and peaceful love. Thank you so much for attending our mindfulness practice as we worked on getting rid of any fatigue or tiredness that you may be feeling leading up to your cycle, during your cycle, or after your cycle. Now feel free to come back and do this video anytime that you're not feeling like you have the energy that you need to move throughout your day. So save this for future reference. However, we do manifest a positive, productive, and peaceful remainder of the day for you and menstrual journey ahead. And we are so grateful for you for tuning into this practice and also investing in your mind, body, spirit, and your womb wellness for great menstrual health. And we'll speak to you during our next video. Peace.